Welcome, basketball fans, to a special comprehensive deep dive into the state of Philippine basketball. Today, we are unpacking a headline that has been making waves across the nation and the international basketball community. AO's 6 points. Bumabalik na ang laro ni Kai Sotto. Gilas is ready versus New Zealand and Australia. To the casual observer, 6 points might seem like a modest number. In an era dominated by high-scoring superstars, 30-point triple-doubles, and highlight reel offensive explosions, a 6-point outing barely registers on the global radar. But basketball, especially at the international level, is rarely told in simple box scores. For Kai Sotto, the towering 7'3" prodigy who carries the weight of a basketball-crazed nation of over 100 million people on his broad shoulders, those 6 points represent something far more profound than a mere statistical output. They represent stabilization. They represent a return to form, a recalibration of his internal basketball clock, and most importantly, they represent readiness for the grueling trials that lie ahead. To understand the significance of this moment, we have to look at the immense pressure cooker that is Kai Sotto's career. From the moment he first stepped onto the hardwood as a lanky teenager at the Ateneo de Manila High School, the narrative was written for him. He was to be the chosen one, the first homegrown Filipino to conquer the global stage and shatter the glass ceiling of the NBA. We have watched him navigate the complex global basketball landscape, from his developmental stint in the United States to his challenging yet character-building days with the Adelaide 36 Airs in the Australian National Basketball League, and now his crucial tenure in the fiercely competitive Japanese B-League. Every single step he takes, every missed shot, every block, and every foul is scrutinized with microscopic intensity that few athletes in the world, let alone a young man in his early 20s, ever have to endure. Recently, Kai has faced adversity, whether dealing with nagging injuries, the physical toll of a relentless year-round basketball calendar, or the natural slumps that plague even the greatest of athletes. There were whispers of doubt. Critics questioned his motor, his physicality, and his ability to anchor the national team against world-class competition. But those 6 points, grounded in fundamentally sound basketball, excellent positioning, setting bone-crushing screens, and commanding the paint defensively, serve as a resounding declaration. His game is back. He is moving with fluidity. His footwork in the post is crisp. His passing out of double teams is sharp. And his defensive timing, which is arguably his greatest asset to the GILA'S Pilipinas system, is razor sharp. He is no longer forcing the issue. He is letting the game come to him. And this resurgence could not have come at a more critical juncture. GILA'S Pilipinas is staring down the barrel of one of the most formidable stretches in their FIBA calendar. The assignments are not just difficult, they are monolithic. First, the New Zealand Tall Blacks, a team that embodies sheer, uncompromising physicality. They do not just play basketball, they engage in a 40-minute war of attrition. They crash the offensive glass with reckless abandon. They defend the perimeter with suffocating length, and they execute their half-court sets with a ruthless efficiency that punishes any defensive lapse. For Gilas to stand a chance against the Tall Blacks, they need an anchor in the middle who will not be moved, who will challenge every drive to the rim, and who will secure the defensive rebounds to ignite the fast break. That anchor is Kai Sotto. But the mountain does not stop there. Looming on the horizon is the ultimate test of Asian and oceanic basketball supremacy. The Australian Boomers. World-class in every sense of the word. Australia brings a roster brimming with elite talent, forged in the fires of the NBA and the highly physical NBL. They play a brand of basketball that is both beautifully systemic and terrifyingly athletic. They will test GILA'S Pilipinas in ways they have never been tested before. They will expose any weakness in our pick-and-roll defense. They will challenge our ball handlers with relentless full-court pressure, and they will demand absolute perfection from our coaching staff and players alike. This is the crucible in which the modern GILA'S Pilipinas will be forged. Under the masterful, deliberate, and fiercely competitive guidance of Coach Tim Cone, this team is not looking for moral victories. They are not looking to simply show up and wave the flag. They are looking to compete, to disrupt, and to win. And at the very heart of this ambitious endeavor is a rejuvenated Kai Sotto. So, as we prepare to dive deep into the tactical nuances, the individual matchups, and historical context of these upcoming battles, let us set the stage. The prodigal son has found his rhythm. The 6 points are a warning shot. Gilas Pilipinas is locking in, and the Titans of Oceania are about to face a team that is unified, hungry, and ready for war. Let us transition into the core of our analysis, breaking down exactly what Kai Sotto's return to form means for the tactical blueprint of Gilas Pilipinas, and how Coach Tim Cohn will deploy his modernized arsenal against the distinctly different threats posed by New Zealand and Australia. First, we must dissect the evolution of Kai Sotto's game. The obsession with high-scoring numbers often blinds observers to the realities of winning basketball. When we highlight his recent 6-point performance as a positive indicator, we are looking at his efficiency and his secondary statistics. In the professional leagues of Japan and Australia, Kai has learned that you do not need 20 field goal attempts to dominate a game. When Kai is engaged, his gravity reshapes the geometry of the court. Defenses are forced to collapse into the paint when he rolls to the basket. This simple action, the hard roll, is the engine that creates wide-open three-point opportunities for shooters like Calvin Oftana, Dwight Ramos, and Kevin Kiambao. Furthermore, Kai's passing ability out of the high post is a weapon perfectly tailored for Coach Tim Cohn's offensive philosophies. Cohn's system relies heavily on reading the defense, constant movement off the ball, and punishing over-rotations. When Kai receives a ball at the elbow, his towering vantage point allows him to survey the entire half-court. If a defender sags off to protect the rim, Kai has developed a reliable mid-range jumper. If they press up on him, he has the vision to find cutters diving to the basket. This high basketball IQ approach is exactly what indicates that his game is back. He is processing the game at a veteran's pace, stripping away the nervous energy that sometimes plagued his earlier international stints. Now, let's turn our attention to the New Zealand Tall Blacks. Historically, New Zealand is a thorn in the side of Philippine basketball. Their style is diametrically opposed to the fast-paced, improvisational brand of basketball that Filipinos traditionally love. The Tall Blacks are disciplined, methodical, and incredibly strong. They run intricate sets designed to create mismatches in the post, and they are arguably the best offensive rebounding team in the region. To beat New Zealand, Gilas Pilipinas must win the battle of the boards. You cannot allow a team that shoots as well as the Tall Blacks to get second and third opportunities. This is where the pairing of Kai Sotto with players like A.J. Edu or Justin Brownlee becomes paramount. Kai will be tasked with boxing out their primary big men, a job that requires relentless leg strength and immense concentration. But defense against New Zealand is not just about the bigs. It requires all 5 men on the floor to rebound collectively. Our guards, like Scotty Thompson and Chris Newsom, must crash down and secure the loose balls. On the offensive end, Gilas must use their quickness to neutralize New Zealand's size. We need to push the pace in transition before their half-court defense sets up. If we are forced into a half-court grinding match, we play right into their hands. We must utilize Kai as a trail big, allowing him to step into open threes or attack closeouts against slower defenders. Then comes the ultimate Leviathan, the Australian Boomers. If New Zealand is a test of physical endurance, Australia is a test of basketball perfection. The Boomers execute the pick and roll with a surgical precision that routinely shreds even the best defenses in the world. They have guards who can shoot from well beyond the international three-point line, wings who slash to the basket with ferocity, and versatile big men who can both protect the rim and stretch the floor. Playing Australia requires a defensive masterclass. Coach Tim Cohn will have to dig deep into his defensive playbook. We cannot play standard drop coverage against the Boomers. Their guards will punish us with pull-up jumpers all night long. Gilas will likely employ a mix of aggressive hedging, trapping the ball handler to force the ball out of their primary playmaker's hands, and relying on rapid rotations on the weak side. For Kai Sotto, this means his lateral mobility will be tested to the absolute limit. He will have to show hard on the screens, recover back to his man in the paint, and still be in a position to contest at the rim. It is the most demanding defensive assignment in basketball, but if Kai can hold his own, it changes the entire complexion of the game. Offensively against Australia, Gilas must value the basketball as if their lives depend on it. Live ball turnovers against the Boomers are a death sentence. They transition from defense to offense faster than any team in the tournament. Every possession must be deliberate. Justin Brownlee will be heavily relied upon to create his own shot when the shot clock winds down. but he cannot do it alone. The supporting cast must be aggressive. We need the fearless penetration of our guards to force the Australian defense to collapse, creating windows of opportunity for our shooters. We have to make them respect our perimeter game, which in turn will open up the paint for Kai Sotto to operate. The readiness of Gilas Pilipinas is not just about X's and O's. It is about psychological fortitude. For years, there has been a lingering inferiority complex when Asian teams face the powerhouses of Oceania. But this iteration of Gilas, fortified by players who ply their trade in competitive overseas leagues, brings a different swagger. They have faced elite competition in Japan, Korea, and beyond. The mystique of playing an Australian or New Zealand team is slowly fading, replaced by a cold, calculating desire to execute the game plan and secure the victory. As we draw this extensive analysis to a close, it is vital to zoom out and look at the broader horizon. The upcoming clashes against New Zealand and Australia are not just standalone exhibition games. They are critical stepping stones on a long, arduous road to the 2027 FIBA Basketball World Cup. Every possession, every defensive stop, and every rebound in these qualifiers is a building block for the future of the Philippine national team program. The narrative surrounding Kai Sotto's return to form, those crucial 6 points that signal his physical and mental alignment, is a microcosm of the Gilas Pilipinas journey itself. It is a journey marked by immense expectations, inevitable setbacks, intense public scrutiny, and ultimately, the relentless pursuit of improvement. We must remember that growth in international basketball is rarely linear. There will be nights of spectacular triumph, and there will be nights of agonizing defeat. But the true measure of this program under Coach Tim Cone is how they respond to adversity, how they adapt to world-class scouting, and how they evolve their style of play to compete in the modern era. For the millions of passionate Filipino fans watching from every corner of the globe, your unwavering support is the lifeblood of this team. Puso, heart, is no longer just a rallying cry used to excuse tactical deficiencies or lack of preparation. Today, Puso means the discipline to execute a defensive rotation perfectly. It means the unselfishness to make the extra pass to an open teammate. It means the resilience to step back onto the court after a tough loss and battle even harder the next day. Gilas Pilipinas is bringing that modernized Puso to the hardwood. They are ready. The coaching staff has prepared the blueprint. The players have put in the grueling hours of practice, film study, and physical conditioning. Kai Sotto is anchored, focused, and ready to protect the paint. Justin Brownlee is prepared to carry the offensive load with his characteristic grace and clutch shot-making. The rest of the squad is locked in, understanding their roles and eager to prove that the Philippines belongs on the same floor as the heavyweights of Oceania. The challenge is monumental, but so is the heart of this team. As the final buzzer approaches in our broadcast today, we stand on the precipice of a defining moment for Philippine basketball. Win or lose, the battles against New Zealand and Australia will forge the character of the squad. They will show us exactly where we stand on the global stage and what we must do to reach the pinnacle. Thank you for joining me on this incredibly deep dive into the state of Gilas Pilipinas. Keep your eyes on the court, keep your faith in the system, and let us all stand behind our national team as they face these monumental challenges.